welcome back. It's been quite a while since I've done a Confessions of a Theme Park Employee video for you guys. So today I'm going to give you a couple stories to make up for it. I've been super busy. We just opened the new hotel, so that took a lot of my time. But I'm going to give you a fun story about the grand opening ceremony, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about this guy behind me, my pet tiger Leotis, which isn't really a story, it's just a side note because he's in my shot. So I figured I'd let you guys know what's up with him. And then I'll tell you a fun story from my hometown park. So let's get to it. We just last week, actually, last Friday, had the grand opening ceremony for the hotel that we've been working on for quite a long time. And I wasn't an actual part of working the ceremony. I was working the breakfast shift inside the hotel, so I was with the performers, but we didn't do our first breakfast show because it was in the middle of the grand opening ceremony, so we went and watched it. So we were standing in the back. It was me and the performers that I was working with and the performer supervisor manager. I don't really know her actual position. We were standing back there and we were just watching, and you know, the performers were in their costumes, so they drew quite a bit of attention while we were waiting for the ceremony to start. So we were taking pictures and they were in character telling jokes and whatnot. We were just hanging out, and then off in the distance we see some horses. Like, they rented horses for this grand opening ceremony, which is pretty cool. They were really neat. Like, they're all dressed up like medieval knights, and they walked in front of us, and the path they had to take is they walked past us and then looped around over the cable ramps and then past the front of the hotel and then away. And we were just watching the show, and the horses were like making their trail, and when they got to the cable ramp, one of the horses like tripped on the ramp and almost threw his rider. So we lost it a little bit watching that, and then the horses went away, and there were these big confetti cannons, and all the costume characters came out. It was a really cool experience to be a part of opening something so new. There's definitely been a lot of trial and error. We're still in a trial period, and every day I go into work, it feels as if something has changed, but keeps my life really interesting. But now, instead of just special guests and media guests, we have actual guests in the hotel, so it's a little bit more fun. There's more kids, more interactions, and like, the shows are really fun. There's dragon puppets, which I really like. They're really cool. So yeah, just a little update more than anything, and a story of a tripping horse. So yeah, behind me here is Leotis. He was in fact a grand prize at one of the games from my hometown park, and he was a gift to me from my boyfriend for Christmas, and that is how I have a pet tiger. I'll admit, he wasn't originally Leotis. At hometown park, we had a habit of naming prizes, especially when they were big like this guy. Like, he is arguably the size of a small real tiger. So his original name was McClellan, and the actual Leotis was given away as a prize, but Leotis is a cooler name in my opinion, so I renamed him when he became mine. We also had a mascot dog. He was like a bulldog. He's like actual life-size. His name was Baxter, and we used to dress him up, and he sat in our back office. So yeah, my actual story though for hometown is a fun little story about Sprite. So in my hometown park, we had access to guest comments and guest reviews that were left on our like service surveys, so that we could see things we were doing well, things we weren't doing so great, and hopefully address issues if there were any, fix the problems we were having, kind of thing. But it wasn't like we just had access to our comments. We had access to comments from retail and food and beverage and the rides and all that. So when we had slower days, usually once a week, we'd sit down and we'd scroll through the comments because they can be pretty funny. And perhaps one of the funniest ones we have was a food and beverage comment about soda. So basically the comment stated that the guest had gone up to the food stand, ordered a refillable cup, asked for a Coke, and then some food or whatever, and the person rang them out, like, rang it all up, took their card, swiped it, and went to, like, get their stuff, realized there was nothing in the soda machine but Sprite at the time, and turned around and looked at the guest and said, "All we have is Sprite. Do you want Sprite?" And I can't, like, when I tell that story to other people, it's not as funny, but we lost our minds when we read that. Like, we died laughing. And I think it was really because we could imagine the look on the cast member's face and the look on the guest's face, and we could just envision this interaction happening, and we lost it. So it became this joke where we'd say all the time, if we didn't have what someone was asking for, we would literally just say, "All we have is Sprite." And it's just this joke we have. And I still say it sometimes, like, my boyfriend knows the reference, so, like, I'll say it to him if, like, he asks me for milk or something and we're out of milk, 'cause that's a common thing. I'll just be like, "I'm sorry, all we have is Sprite." And it's probably not funny to any of you, but it was hilarious at the time. And, like, guest comments are just hilarious to read. Like, some of the most ridiculous things. So yeah, those are my stories for you guys. Hopefully I'm going to be a little bit more regular with my videos now that life isn't terribly crazy, though summer is approaching, so Lord only knows. Thank you guys for watching. Maybe Leotis will be a regular appearance just for the fun of having a tiger in my shots. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead, like, and comment down below. Social media will be over here on Leotis's face for a little bit. Go ahead, follow me there. Any questions you guys have, leave them down below. I don't know, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.